Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I'm your host, PattSun, and today we're gonna be taking a look at r/Am I the Asshole, where OP's cheating wife was very angry that he wanted a divorce. Let's begin. My girlfriend cheated on me because she was having a mental breakdown. Posted by Reddit user Separate Push.
My girlfriend and I had been together for 5 years. Our relationship was something you would see on the Hallmark Channel until it wasn't. We didn't attend university right out of high school and chose to get jobs. 18 months into it, we decided we should attend school and get degrees that would set us up better for our future because we both knew we had found our people. We knew we wanted kids, and so it just made sense. I chose a trade school in the same city as she chose for a nursing program. We were both accepted and moved 7 hours from our hometown to start our new journey. I completed my school in 1 school year and it was off to find a job in my chosen career, but she still had 3 more years at the least. I ended up finding a job that was in between our hometown and the college. But it was still a decent drive for us to make, and we were broke, so we couldn't really afford to make the trip all the time. Her second and third year went by pretty smoothly, and it was the last stretch until we could move together and start life. But that's when it all started to fall apart. She had enjoyed the city she was in and really wanted to stay in there even after graduation because she had made lots of friends. So knowing that we couldn't probably make it work to stay there, right away she knew her time of being there and with her friends and the partying was coming to an end and grown-up life was about to begin. Midway through that final year, her dad passed away. It was very hard on her and I tried my absolute best to support her in her time of mourning. But I guess since I couldn't be there every night, it wasn't enough. I noticed her life took a turn and she was in the bars and parties almost every night, even nights before big exams. I was worried about her health and if she was starting to become an alcoholic. So one fateful weekend I chose to drive up and surprise her and take her out to a nice dinner. We shared our locations, and when I made it to town around 5:30 p.m. and she wasn't home, I checked her location and it showed she was at a house I didn't recognize. I figured it was a friend's house and I chose to wait for her to leave and head home to surprise her. After waiting and waiting, I fell asleep in my truck in a parking lot near her neighborhood. I woke up around 7 a.m. and was very concerned when I checked her location and it was still at that house. I didn't want to have wasted my time and my anxiety made me suspicious, so I drove to the house and knocked on the door. A tall man wearing nothing but shorts opened the door and behind him in the distance was my girlfriend naked, frantically looking for clothes or something to cover up with. Without saying a word, I turned around and left. Within 10 minutes she was calling and it was all my fault because I didn't try to be there for her in her time of need and he was there for her the whole time. I guess it probably was my fault.
I disagree, OP. This is not your fault. Also, having mental health problems is never an excuse to cheat. You can be overwhelmed by everything without having to resort to infidelity. She's just a hoe, my dude. Take this lesson and learn from it. Leave her in the streets where she belongs. And now for today's second story. My friend, who was also my coworker, just indicated that they don't have romantic feelings for me and no longer wants to be my friend. Posted by Reddit user Ocean Simp.
So this coworker of mine and myself have gotten close over the last couple of months. We started to work more closely during the summer, then we progressed to hanging out sometimes outside of work, and it got to the point of us hanging out practically every day. I started to really like her, but she just wanted to remain friends, or that's what she very loosely indicated, and to be honest, I was so happy to just spend time with her that being her friend was good with me. We'd go out shopping and thrifting together, grab food together and talk for hours, watch movies and TV shows, bake various pastries, and I'd take her wherever she needed to go and it was just the best. Recently, however, I noticed things began to change. Her texts got more and more plain. She didn't have the time to hang out with me and she grew more avoidant of me while we worked. It just didn't make a lot of sense to me. In my head, I thought she was getting slightly upset that I hadn't made a grand romantic gesture because of some of the things she'd do whilst we hung out. She would lay very close to me, falling asleep on me once. We would often hug each other goodbye. She would text me heart emojis amongst other not very friendly actions. So I eventually told her that I really liked her and she didn't reciprocate that message at all. It felt very unlike her to be as cold as she was. She just flatly said that she didn't see me like that and that she felt bad about not wanting to hang out, and that it would be best for us to return to, not even friends but mere coworkers. Those are some great months of memories that feel practically erased. We shared stories and feelings and emotions with one another, and for her to treat me like this just feels unfair. I'm not really even mad, more surprised and perplexed. I keep thinking if I said or did anything that would have upset her. Even asking her if I did anything in particular, she would answer with a no. So, I'm at a loss. It feels bad to lose someone who you got so close with so quickly, and for that person to now suddenly not want to be a part of your life. It's painful, yet I'll have to see this person often because we still work together. I don't know how I'm going to hold up. She'll just give me the cold shoulder while smiling and talking with everyone else. I'll do my best to be friendly and happy when I'm around her, but it's going to be tough to say the least. Is there a chance that we could once again become friends, or is all hope lost? And how would I approach the situation with her being my coworker and us sharing a lot of the same friends? I really want to be her friend and spend time with her once again, but I don't think that'll happen. And that hurts. TLDR. My coworker, who progressed to very good friend, out of nowhere stopped wanting to hang out and didn't reciprocate my romantic feelings and now doesn't want to be friends.
Dude, you sound overly attached to some girl you only knew for months. Honestly, it's quite creepy. Maybe that's why she backed off. Leave her alone, dude. And one more piece of advice. Don't shit where you eat. And now for today's final story. Am I the asshole for giving my wife an ultimatum? Posted by Reddit user Key Salamander.
I have been married to my wife for 7 years and we were together another 3 before that. We had a daughter. On the outside, our marriage appears to be perfect. She and I own a nice house with a good school district, have a great kid, and both work full-time. Her job requires her to do some travel and wants her in the office 3 days a week. My job does not pay as well, but I work completely remote and spend a lot of time taking my daughter to soccer or doctor's appointments, as well as keeping up around the house. Before anyone asks, this is not a weight gain issue. I am active and fit, and my wife is the same. For the past 4 or so years, my wife has shown basically no interest in our marriage and acts more like my roommate than my partner. We have basically no romance or intimacy. When I say intimacy, I know some people will jump to sex, but to me intimacy means acting like a couple. Hand-holding, kisses, cuddling, and obviously sex. None of those are really things my wife wants to do and makes it painfully obvious that she isn't interested. Before she and I were very much an amazing couple. My wife also shows no interest in my life. She has forgotten important events like our anniversary and my birthday. Our last anniversary, she said she needed to cancel the dinner plans I made for the 2 of us because she had to work late on a Friday and travel for work the following week. I brought this up to my therapist, who suggested couples therapy and is willing to give some recommendations. I brought this up to my wife, who immediately shut it down, saying there's nothing wrong with me. I don't need therapy. I have made multiple suggestions to her for how we can possibly improve our relationship. Family vacation. Our daughter won't appreciate it. I don't see why 5-year-old wouldn't want to go to the beach for a couple days, but maybe I'm wrong. A romantic getaway for just her and I. No, I'm too busy at work, or can't we just spend time together at home? Taking our daughter on a bike ride and going out to lunch on a weekend. I want to just relax. So I gave up trying to initiate anything with her and recently began looking for an out. I watched my parents in a failing marriage for a decade and don't want to put my child through that. I talked to a lawyer and got papers ready and can buy a condo in town to keep our daughter in the same school district with her friends, since I can't afford our house by myself. I recently confronted my wife when our daughter was on a playdate. I told her that I am seriously considering leaving her since I feel as though I don't matter to her and our relationship is never a priority to her. I told her I have an exit plan, and if she doesn't make changes by the new year, I am going to file for divorce and full custody. She and I got into a big fight where she basically told me I was manipulative and an asshole for blindsiding her like that. I told her that none of this would be an issue if she cared about us or at least pretended to. I told her I don't want our daughter to see how unhealthy our relationship is. All of this happened yesterday. So Reddit, am I the asshole for what I said to my wife and our argument after? Edit, I have brought up my concerns about our marriage to her multiple times. Things usually improve for a short while but are quickly back to the status quo in a week or two. And now for OP's update. Hi everyone. First of all, thank you for all of your replies and messages. I received a ton and haven't been able to reply to them all. It has been a crazy couple of weeks, unfortunately. My marriage is over, and after talking to my wife, I realize it has been for a long time. The day after my post, I began the divorce process with my lawyer. Everyone who said I was an asshole for saying I was going to get full custody, that is true. I was angry, frustrated, and said something I shouldn't have. We are going to split custody, with me having the weekdays and my wife having weekends. That said, everyone who said she was cheating, congratulations, you were right. She has been for around 4 years now, which is about the time she started withdrawing from our marriage. She has been cheating with this coworker because she felt like she was not attractive after having a child, and I was busy with work and childcare. More recently, she has begun to develop feelings for him and was considering leaving me for him, which she is now free to do. When I gave her the ultimatum, she was surprised that I was considering leaving her and thought I knew about her affair at the time. We sat our daughter down and explained that we are splitting up, but we both love her more than anything. My daughter was understandably upset and is having a tough time. I have been looking into therapy options for my daughter and told her that she can always tell me how she is feeling. This is the hardest part of everything so far. My wife and I are going to be geographically close. I'm going to be moving into a condo in early January, and my wife is going to move in with her coworker about 15 minutes away. With the sale of our house, I will be able to pay off a large portion of my new home. According to the lawyer, we can have everything wrapped up by New Year's if it goes smoothly, but with the holidays, I'll be happy with early January. In the meantime, I'm going to start rebuilding my life. I did not get married with the intention of getting divorced, but here we are. I am going to work on myself and my relationship with my daughter, starting with a vacation. I am going to surprise her with a trip to Disney this winter. It will be expensive, but I really want to make her happy and create some happy memories. I'm going to miss her on weekends. Maybe one day I'll explain this all to her when she is an appropriate age and we can talk about it more. In the meantime, I am going to work on myself and try to be the best version of me that I can. I don't know what the future holds, but I guess I'll know eventually.
It's very smart of you to start therapy for your daughter, OP. She's going to be spending every weekend with her mother's affair partner after all, and that could be rough for any 5-year-old. Also, after everything is signed and divorce is final, report them to HR. She must suffer the consequences for destroying her own family. Viewer support is the best way for me to remain independent and continue bringing you these daily videos, which will always be here on my channels for you to watch absolutely free. So please consider subscribing to me on Rumble and on YouTube. Both will be linked in the description box down below. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you even somewhat enjoyed today's story, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if you really like it, consider subscribing to PattSun to never miss a future upload. Stay strong.